What's up, YouTube? Codperman221 here, and welcome to Season 2 of Gun of Heroes 2 for the online replay value series here. Anyway, this time we're going to be focusing on the Oberkommando. Show resources, I guess. So, the Oberkommando are kind of like the British. Like, there's a corporation of the British in the United States and in the U.S. Army and in the Oberkommando. Oberkommando is very similar with the trucks. As you guys can remember, there's different trucks from the British and COH-1. So this is kind of cool. So you're going to have your basic, your command headquarters truck right here. That's going to give you Storm Pioneers, which are actually extremely good guys. They're not just basic Pioneers. These guys are Storm. They're about 40 manpower per guy to replenish. And I'm telling you, these guys, when they have MP44s, they can do some real damage to the United States, U.S. troops there. Anyway, I've gone for one of the 3 basic doctrines that we have, which is the Luftwaffe. You can see here we have the MG42, heavy fortifications like tank traps, flaks. Fallschirmjäger are very important. You can get inspiring stuff, and you can get airborne assault. So that's kind of cool. They recon. So I'm going to be using the MG. I pretty much cost for the MG34. We had none of the Oberkommando does not have any basic MG unless you go with the doctrine. So you can see these are the awesome Sturm Pioneers here. I love them. And I'm going against right now Chaw Sound. I'm just going to call him Sound. And Juicebox, who's been in a lot of videos, is going as this, the basic Wehrmacht here. So these factions really complement each other because you have the, well, you just have like the more mobile and these guys can be pretty defensive. Of these, you pretty much have the, how do you say this? You have the Oberkommando West's defenses and heavy tanks, all of their superior technology and artillery support, while you have the basic Wehrmacht's MGs and early tanks. These are doing. This is a brand new unit, obviously, but the rear echelon troops can do suppressing fire, and they can actually pin your guys, and they'll start doing quite a lot of damage. Keep in mind, we're in negative cover here, so I got to pull those guys back. That was the first time I had seen that thing actually used correctly. I mean, that was a great unit because these guys could have gone in behind these guys and done a lot of damage here. And he's focusing all his units on them, so they're going to start falling rapidly. So I got to pull us back. And while I'm focusing on 2 of his guys, you can see he's pulling back these guys. I believe he's trying to get a... Let's just hop on to him really quickly. He's producing a medical ambulance. I'll go over that in a little bit more detail when I do my own thing. Basically, the ambulance is like a half track with a healing bonus with it. So it's actually a pretty decent unit. So I'm pushing forward. You can see I like to get about 3 Volksgrenadiers, and I have an MG up. I haven't built my second one. There's really no need yet, but when I do, I'm going to build this one. You can give me some artillery. Mainly, I'm using this for to be able to retreat, and it's kind of like a permanent one. So it'll heal my troops when I put it down here. Now you can see with this Luftwaffe doctrine, I am building sandbags. These sandbags are pretty decent because they do give you heavy cover. They do take a while to build though. And I'm just gonna hop my guys right over the thing here. And now we have the MG34. It's not a 42. I don't know why the Oberkommando West is an MG34. I was doing a little bit of research on it. They came out. This Oberkommando West thing was formed in 1940, I think, after the fall of France. So, I mean, obviously they didn't have the MG42 yet because it wasn't invented, but for how technologically advanced these guys seem, you know, it seemed like they would have that. So you can see they also have this Kuba-Wagen, which is basically, it can actually suppress infantry, but it's like scouts, it's sort of like the American Jeep. They also have the anti-tank. I mean, that's very important because first of all, you can see we're not getting a lot of fuel. These guys have 10 less fuel than your ally. So if you see, I'm getting 19. Juicebox is getting roughly 26. So, I mean, these guys have less fuel automatically overall. So, one thing that the Americans are heavily relying on is munitions. Because they use their munitions off of these 60 for each one of these bazooka, light machine gun, etc. So, I see this here. I'm going to fall back. Another cool thing is these guys can salvage. There's like the Pioneers, some Cone of Heroes 1. They can salvage wrecked vehicles, which is pretty cool. And we're just completely, like on this map, me and G-Spox, we usually just ignore the center from the beginning and then come back and take that. The players usually tend to focus on crossing the wood on the right sides I mean, well, the fuel sides and the victory points. So you can see a lot of the Americans seem to be. I mean, America seems to be heavily reliant on infantry and munitions. I mean, they're a lighter thing. Well, the Germans have always seemed with the Wehrmacht has always seemed just in general to have smaller number of units, right, and then more elite units like Grenadiers, COH-1, and then these are cool. You know, these are the Pathfinders. These guys do not come in by airplane. One of them went airborne, Lord Randall here. So this is an MG-42. Lord Randall went. These guys basically scout. They're good at long range. Lord Randall went airborne, so he has Pathfinders, and he also has the regular paratroopers. You can see these guys can kind of go invisible. I see these are a cool unit indeed. Look how awesome the graphics are in this game right now. Even as the 101st Airborne Screaming Eagle patch on, you can see right there. Okay, back to my side. They're making a decent push, but I have 2 MGs and I'm kind of daring them. I saw that kind of infantry barrage he was doing. I'm like, you know what? I can hold this guy. He's not gonna be able to fight 2 MGs. So keep in mind these Storm Pioneers are coming to flank around. They're doing a lot of damage. These guys got suppressed. I mean, they had enough of them that were in that zone there, but he's gonna have to fall back. You can see he's using this to heal up his men, which is good. He does have a lieutenant out. Once you see lieutenant, they've obviously moved out on their next tech tree, so you need to be aware. I just want to push up, and then I saw the LT there. So they have to build a they have to build a major to get tanks. And we can get tanks all along, but you can see how expensive these things are. The half-track with a searchlight actually is a pretty good thing. I'm going to definitely show you guys some videos with that. By the way, if you're enjoying this, leave a like and a comment. Especially want to hear your comments on what you think of the new DLC here. And any kind of suggestions or kind of things you want to see, or like stuff I'm not highlighting correctly. Well, not that I'm not highlighting correctly. Stuff that for the season 1, right? We had the some guy said, "Hey, do the Blitz Doctrine or something, or talk about that," and I did a video on that. So do stuff like that. I can't guarantee I'll do all of them. Check this out: grenade, boom, wipe those guys out. Rear echelon troops are really used for manning. Grenade. They're manning grenades. Yeah, they're pretty much cannon fodder. They're pretty much used for. They can build defenses. That's pretty decent, right? They're kind of like bad pioneers, but these guys really shouldn't be in frontline combat. They can't do the suppression fire. This guy has a mortar half track. I'm just building a second kind of ring here. I say these guys are quite effective. I do like. Oh, that's awesome. He's like a sniper scope on his M1. Actually, that's a Springfield. When I'm playing, I never really zoom in on my troops, but I see these 2 factions are pretty awesome. So I have another truck coming out. You can see at the bottom here it had different seconds for trucks that were coming out. I'm grabbing a 3rd MG. I'm going to kind of put an MG in the center and try to hold this. These foxes making more kind of feints. This guy's just harassing me with the mortars. I'm just building like different rows of sandbags. I'm pretty much like, yeah, so I pull my MGs back a little bit. But this guy's just kind of harassing me with this mortar half track. It's kind of cool to see the Americans have kind of a little bit more lighter vehicles. I can get some artillery. I mean, artillery is pretty decent on this. It's a light infantry support gun. So if you have a spam these though, these are pretty effective. And they used to fire on their own. I'm not sure they fire on their own now. So one thing I'm doing is I'm going to put a flak. I could have put it up here, right? But I didn't want it to get bombarded. I'm going to put this supply half track right here, my kind of next vehicle to guard our fuel here. I'm going to make it the Panzer headquarters, so I can get some Storm Tigers. I'm going to get my Panther, and then I can also have these very good Obersoldaten. These guys are extremely good, but they cost a lot of manpower, and I have the Fallschirmjägers to complement. Fallschirmjägers are really awesome because they can go in different buildings, and later on you'll see me go between, you see me go behind different buildings. You can see right now Juicebox is cutting off their reinforcements, or their fuel on this side. We do have some kind of airplane going up ahead. It's not dropping supplies or anything. The doctrine I'm most used to, well, the doctrine I'm really quite enjoying. Oh, he did drop paratroopers. So he dropped paratroopers behind enemy lines. Smart. gotta be careful when you drop paratroopers because that guy's glitched. Okay, so I'm flanking around here. I'm trying to get this. I destroyed this half track. This is kind of a critical part here. And I'm trying to get rid of this guy. That bounced off the front. I just have to fall back here, and unfortunately, I'm gonna lose that squad there. These are the light machine guns, are just very deadly. So when you deploy paratroopers, certain spots are better than others. Usually in the middle of the road, which is very bad for your cover situation. I'll talk more about that in the later videos here, but I gotta say it's like 1:50 in the morning. I'm doing the commentary here because I want to get this out to you guys. I went to work for several hours and then I came back late at night, played some games trying to get you guys some gameplay. Because I love doing this. Anyway, so we got the Fallschirmjägers here. They are going to take over the field here. Just brawl them right out of the building. I could see these guys being quite annoying because they are very high. They're very good units. They do have the FG-42. Very deadly gun indeed. Look how awesome these guys look like. Like I said, I never get to zoom in usually when I'm playing. So, now Juicebox going a little spammy with the bunkers here. He's going to build 3 bunkers to protect my flank, the center, and the left. I mean, these guys are heavily reliant on infantry right now. They're not going to... Okay, so let's just talk about Lord Randall here just for a second. So they have 19 fuel. Alright, this guy's 19 fuel. Okay, he's going to this. So, you can get a Stewart, right? What I recommend is the Americans. I recommend you skip that and you go right to this to get this guy. But they're not getting a lot of fuel as it is because we just keep cutting them off. So he did research both. Oh, he just researched that. That's 15. You know what he keeps doing? He keeps making these ambulances, which are not... Well, they're actually pretty cheap. I know what it was. It was this. That was 40. I'll put him back a little bit. So you can see they stand no chance of taking that side there. These guys do have the bazookas. Yeah, you could basically, one of the things I like is that you can arm your, so I can arm these guys as bazookas, or it's called a Panzerschreck. So you can arm these guys with Panzerschrecks. You can arm, the American infantry is very versatile. You can arm them with machine guns, light machine guns, bars, and bazookas. So you can give them the bar, a bazooka, and an LMG. I think it's a 50 cal or something, or maybe a 30 cal. M19 Ace. Yeah. So I'm kind of pushing here, just cutting off more points, making it harder for them to connect their stuff. And at long range, these paratroopers will beat me because they do have the carbines. Unlike the Springfield guys, I'm just gonna pull back. I don't want to fight. You know, if they were wanting to come around this side, I'd fight them up close. Here's our juice box. You can see that's another ambulance. You got to pull this thing back. They're just launching rifle grenades. They're trying to do some damage. So at this point, I'm going to bring out my anti-rocket, pretty much my AT. He did hit that, which was great with his Panzerfaust. And I am going to try to get rid of this thing. This thing had been harassing me the whole game. Didn't get a whole lot of kills. It was just annoying. And my Fallschirmjäger are here. Juicebox going to pull back, but that was good teamwork there. Now I got my Fallschirmjäger here. We pretty much cut off. So pretty much we have 3 victory points right now, both fuel points. They don't really stand a whole lot of a chance. And I'm getting ready to get this. The Panther. Because I'm expecting something, you know. They just have very little fuel, which is surprising to me. Juicebox has a ton of fuel. 60. This guy's 160. He didn't research that, though. Gotta be careful about what you research, though, too. So I got more Fallschirmjäger. I'm gonna help my troops out here. I tried to pull this guy back, but they just wanted to kill him pretty much, so I just let him. And I kept falling back, right? And there we were tossing our grenades. We were ready. This kind of smoke grenade thing would be fun to use. Yeah, we don't really stand much chance against the lieutenant and these Pathfinders. I'm just gonna have to pull back. Cool units, though. It's nice to see some airborne troops. I mean, the Pathfinders are an awesome addition. I'm gonna definitely use some of these guys when I bring in America gameplay at some point here. So I'm not gonna. I don't see a point in doing this. It's gonna cost a lot of fuel, and I don't really need any of the. Ooh, Stuka zu Fuß. That's a very good. That thing, like, literally. So we have a lot more of these guys dropping in. Let's see where they go. That zu Fuß thing. That is absolutely deadly. Stukazufus, basically walking. They can utterly destroy. They can destroy buildings. It's like they fire off like tons and tons of rockets. They're insane. I'm feeling pretty comfortable though with my my kind of lead here. They did, you know what they did? They dropped this anti-tank thing, and man, it was some paratroopers. And this guy has a ton of infantry. I just kind of don't, you know. Here's how I feel. I got our fuel secure, right? I have our fuel secure. I have this area, the victory point secure. Like, what would make me want to attack on this side into a ton of Americans? Like, this point's completely locked off with the forces he has. He can't take that out. So, like, I'm defending this position. Now, it's not like I'm camping or anything, but frankly, we need to defend this position, and I don't have the amount of manpower to take those guys up. I will do an offensive when my Panther comes out, though. Veteran C2 Grenadiers, very nice. So here is the Panther from the... It's nice to get a Panther out, actually. These guys don't have any Panzer IVs. So we have a Panther medium tank featuring the new skin. And they start bombarding me. These guys got a howitzer. I'm just like, well, let's push up. I have these guys coming to help support me in case we have any of the vehicles. And he doesn't have his gun yet, but I have to act. I really don't like getting attacked like that. I'm gonna flank around. Pretty much all my infantry is gonna move out. I'm gonna try to move up some of my MGs. I'm trying to take out this guy right here. So that's like his third ambulance he's lost. It's about 30 fuel he's wasted. And we are just, I just pushed so far on his side here. I'm throwing grenades and I'm just overwhelming his positions, and he's just losing men. And he's abandoning this. At this point I see artillery, so I'm going to spread my men. I'm going to bring these guys over here and pull these guys back, get the tank back. This is heavy American artillery, I think. Yeah, look at that. That's a pretty decent barrage there. Oh, they got a little Stewart out here. It is 17 minutes in the game. Juicebox has a Panzer IV, which is good. So, more paratroopers. Now, if these guys had paratroopers behind our lines, like, they probably could have, right here, they could have done a lot of damage. They had satchel charges. Juicebox went to go scout them out. He kind of made a mistake there. Let's go. We kind of know what they have. We know they don't have any kind of tanks. So one thing the captain is, he's pretty good versus vehicles. I guess that's why he went on there, but frankly, I mean, this game's kind of over right now. I mean, they tried, but the MGs and having these fortifications really helped out my men here. And the fact is, once I got a Panther, they were kind of in trouble. And this guy didn't make any tanks. They just had no fuel, really. Oh, smart. He's capturing it. So your guys, as the Americans, your guys can hop out of the tanks and repair. But you can also capture. Keep in mind, though, when enemy tanks come, you're in trouble. So you better hop back in there. Yeah, Stewards are very light. And that's what happens to light tanks. So massive attack there. At this point, they were saying like good game. I knew a massive attack was coming, frankly. So I had my MGs and my men positioned. But look how many burned ambulances are here. I think I'm telling them to do one last push here. So yeah, good game. These guys were nice, relatively. Oh, dropped another AT gun. They got some good use. Let me just show you the doctrine really quickly that they're using. Lord Randall's. Here's what the paratrooper doctrine looks like. It has the pathfinders. You can drop machine guns. You can drop regular guys. You can even drop this bombing room. That's a lot of munitions. And this guy is like weapon structures, bombards. He's the light machine gun. You can bombard the enemy with artillery and the priest. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As the Oberkommando West, we're going to see the, oh, they're not showing the victory strike. That's where the artillery comes out on the enemy base when you win. And I hope you guys enjoy this. Codforman 221 signing off. Leave a comment down below.